Welcome to the AW Services YouTube channel. Today's video, hints and tips from the domestic and commercial cleaning contractor. If you're cleaning properties, whether it be houses, offices, industrial facilities, holiday lets, rentals, whatever it be, if you're using mops and buckets and you're having to mop floors frequently within your daily role, within your job, then mop and buckets are the most crucial things you can have and the most reliable when you source a good one. There are lots of rubbish mops and buckets on the market. You know, your old school style galvanized, rust out, deteriorate in no time. Vileda plastic red ones, too fancy. You don't want a mop with a head that spins around it 1,000 miles an hour to try and wring it out. They all break. You put a bit of pressure on the pole, and after a few months of using that mop and bucket, that thin, mild steel tube handle that's been powder coated and flakes off will just snap. So you need quality, something that's robust, something that's going to last you, and something that you can pull out of your van daily and say it's going to work. There are many mops and buckets available commercially, many with wheel casters and wheels on them, many with big ringers and different styles. The mop and bucket you see in front of you is a standard socket head mop. It isn't the flat long one, which is commonly known as a Kentucky style. Kentucky style mops use the rectangular ringer that you find on wheeled buckets. So this is a standard socket mop, and I'll show you. These are, I think, J. Scott janitorial. I buy them by the 100 in a box, colour coded for food use, for blue, etc, etc. But this mop and bucket stays in my van and it just gets used for kitchens, mainly with hard floors. But that's a socket mop. It screws on with like a Euro 22 thread on there, and I'm actually using this with an aluminium, very thick aluminium handle, which is long and tall and stops you fatigue on your back. I've also fitted on here a mountain bike handlebar grip, which gives me something soft to hold on to while I'm using the mop and I'm swinging it around to clean the floor. The mop and bucket I'm using, and this particular one I've had for 5 years. I bought multiple buckets from one same supplier and use them for colour-coded jobs, etc. Toilets, bathrooms, food service, etc. This one here is made by Lily, L-I-L-Y, Lily Professional. They're very good. The handles are very reliable. It's a plastic construction. The top ringer pulls off and you can just use it as a normal bucket. But the best tips from someone that uses these daily: after time you get wear and tear and fatigue in the white plastic ringer. When you press your mop down to squeeze all the water out, you get a crack that forms on this top piece of white plastic. That there is a 30 milliliter, I think it's 30 milliliters from memory, I never use it. That's a dosing port, so if you're using a specific brand of floor cleaner for where you work, 30 milliliters, you pour it into there as a measure and then it drains down into the bucket. But yes, going back to what we were saying, this piece of the ringer here can crack. These ringers that you see now are fully functional, they're not damaged at all. It's a brand new one. However, with all of them that I've used a piece of aluminium right angle extrusion. It's like a 2.5 millimeter aluminium extrusion, right angle or an L shape, equal. This came from B&Q locally in their metal aisle, which you'll find near their chains, padlocks and all that kind of stuff. But this was about £4 for a metre length of it. All I've done was measured it, cut it with a hacksaw, smoothed all the edges off. Aluminium, it doesn't rust, so I'm not going to get any wear and tear from that. I've measured it to size. I've marked out where I think my fixings should be, thus here, here, here and here, and then one there, one there, one there and one there. And all I've done is put the aluminium on top. I've marked it with a Sharpie. I've then drilled a small pilot drill through where my holes are. I've then taken the aluminium off. I've used some black polyurethane sealant, the same sealant that goes on car windscreens and sticks like poo to a blanket. I've put a thin bead on the edge of the bucket wringer here. I've then pushed on and applied the aluminium extrusion. I've then used, if I don't know if the camera can see them, I'm trying to zoom in. I have used on the top 316 marine grade stainless steel socket head screws. These are Allen head screws for an Allen key, and on the back of those they've got very small Nylox locking nuts, and then one there and one there is a closed head rivet, and that's gone off inside. It's glued, it's dried, and what's happened now is I've given this particular portion of the bucket more lateral strength along here, so when I'm pushing down on my wringer, this piece here isn't going to crack on me, which in turn gives me a better lifespan, serviceability and use from the mop bucket itself. But I thought I'd share that with you. There are a lot of people that clean, whether you're a window cleaner, school cleaner, caretaker, wherever you are, you're bound to use a mop and bucket, even at home. If you want a decent quality mop and bucket, Lily is the best. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. I'll try to find and post a link in the video description for where I got these from or where they are available from now. I will also link the socket head mop heads and the handles in there as well. But like I say, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Please support the channel by clicking subscribe. It's absolutely free, doesn't ask for any of your personal information, and it will help my channel grow and boost its popularity within YouTube and the algorithms. Please try and watch the videos in full. Give it a like, give it a share. But thank you very much for watching AW Services.